with all this hype about ChatGPT and the artificial intelligence that's behind it, let's talk about exactly how it can help you in your real estate business. What are the biggest opportunities for you to save time and help you get more business, and how to implement them properly. If you're here for the first time, you know, on this channel, I love to help you implement really powerful strategies that help you make more money and help you get more time spending with the people you love, doing the things you love. If that is right up your alley, my name's Alisia Krastel. Hit the subscribe button and we're going to get started. I've messed around with this quite a bit, and I've come up with 6 things, or like the biggest opportunities in real estate, and also how to implement them. So at the end, I'm going to show you, like, this is how to make this get the best results for you, the tactics that you need to take. And if you didn't know, Canva actually uses this technology, and I'm going to give you a little snippet of that in this video. This is going to be stuff that you can actually start using like today. First thing you're going to do is you're going to sign into the Chat GPT, which is openai.com. It's not actually chatgpt.com. It's free as of right now. I don't know how long it will be free. I know it's in a testing phase, so there will be a paid service at some point, but try it out now while you can. The number one thing that is just completely apparent is it is going to help you with the ideas come up when you get writer's block or idea block on things that you could create for content that you could create in your business, not just for posts and social media, but within your business and the structure of business. So I'm going to show you. So I typed in 10 things homeowners should know about seller contribution when offering it to a homeowner. This at least gives us some ideas and some things to spark off. 10 different things that we could do individual posts on, or this could be one main post, but it's a springboard, which you could do this with any topic. I also tried this with landscaping tips. I tried it with ways that you need to stage your home, some ideas to add curb appeal to your house, and it came up with a variation of ideas to springboard. And the second half of that first idea is that it will help you execute these ideas. So if you have these numbers here, 1 through 10, you could pick one to expand upon. So like I said, one big post, 10 different posts, 10 different videos, one video. You could pull one specific item out of here, like the contribution can be used to cover costs and expenses. That would prompt me to take this question, and I want to get more specific about one of these items. That's where it's going to help us execute better and have even more ideas. So let's type in, what can a home buyer pay for with a seller contribution? What are eligible expenses? It's thinking, and then it will pop up what it thinks. The home buyer can use seller contribution for closing costs, prepaid items, and points on mortgage. It's going to go through items. You can pick and choose what you want to do this with, how deep you want to go, how many number of lists you want to do. And you can ask it, can I do this in bullet point? Can I do this in list format? Paragraph? Can I write an essay about it? Can you write an article about it, an email template about it, which is really, really cool. But how do we get specific? So let's get into number 2, which is listing descriptions. Let's ask it to write a listing description. I'm asking it to do a property. This was actually one of my listings, so I can tell you if it's accurate or not. And when it pulls up this information, it does have some really great information there. And I would not copy and paste this. This is not an opportunity to copy paste verbatim and just use it, because there may be inaccurate stuff there, but it helps you with the writer's block. It helps you maybe put some things into perspective or look and say, yeah, I could phrase it this way. That is a really great point. It's going to help reduce the amount of time that it takes us to think of where we're going and where we need to be. In the same vein, you could ask it to write your open house listing, right? Or your broker's open listing. Number 3 is your scripts. So for any videos or any content that you're doing that you actually want a script for, you can ask it to write you a script. So here I'm asking it to write a script, a YouTube script, a 5-minute video about seller contribution. Now, instead of seller side, what the buyers need to know. I have a video on this on YouTube about seller contribution. And when I did this originally, I'm like, yes, it is pulling up most of the points that were actually in my video. It defines it, what it is, what you need to know about it. And then it talks about some of the little details within it. And if you do not like its response, you can ask it to regenerate. It will regenerate another response, or you can ask a more specific question. And remember, we're going to get into a little bit how to make this have a really amazing answers for you. There's a technique to it. Now you don't have any excuse to not do a YouTube video because it just wrote the script for you, right? An amazing hook for the intro of a YouTube video explaining seller contribution when purchasing a home. I'm going to ask it to write a hook because I need that hook in the beginning of the video. Let's see what it comes up with. I actually really like this, and I hadn't thought about phrasing it this way. Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed and unsure about how to handle expenses of buying a home? Look no further, because in this video, we're going to reveal the secret that you can save thousands of dollars in closing costs through seller contribution. Join us as we uncover the ins and outs. That is a great hook for that video. And that is not something that how I phrased it. And I've done 2 or 3 of these seller contribution videos. Number 4 is newsletters and your email campaigns. So if you have a newsletter, any of these things that you're searching right now could be great for newsletters. The seller contribution one, we're going to do one about the flowers and landscape, and I'll show you that. And your email sequences. So let's do something that could be in our newsletter very easily. So I'm asking it, what are some inexpensive flowers to add a pop of color to landscaping in a home in Maryland? I want to know, what flowers can we add for landscaping? This would be a great option for a newsletter. It's talking about pansies, marigolds, zinnias, any of these. I could list all of them. I could list a couple. I could then go into Home Depot and say, hey, I am here at Home Depot and pansies and zinnias are on sale this week, and they'd be perfect. If you're thinking about listing your home for under $50, you can go wild in your front yard, or it could be print, or it could be in a list format, or it could be like an Instagram story or a Facebook story where you say, what 4 flowers do I suggest that you plant that won't break the bank, but add a really great pop of color, and you just list them. I wouldn't have thought to do those. I would have thought just to say, yeah, add the flowers, but I wouldn't have thought, oh yeah, zinnias are great for this. Petunias are great for this. Let me go to Home Depot and make that video. That's great. And actually, any of these articles could really go in your newsletter. So on email campaigns, I asked it to give me 5 email templates to send to home buyers throughout the home buying process, and it gave me 5 email templates. The first time I didn't like the answer, so I did ask it to do it again, and I asked in a little bit different way. I asked it to specifically act as a realtor and write an email that congratulated a homeowner on going under contract and listing all the important dates and next steps. So I did look at it. It's very similar to emails that I send and that are my templates. It tells you the home inspection, appraisal, loan approval, like what's next. I have those items in there, and then I have the deadline date in each of my emails when I send these to clients. So it can set up and create an email campaign for you. Is this blowing your mind how it could actually help in your business? If it is, write mind blown in the comments. Number 5 is posts, any kind of posts. And I want you to think of everything from Instagram stories, TikTok videos, anything that you can imagine that you could post, including memes and quotes. This can help you. You could say, give me 25 quotes around real estate, and it will produce you 25 quotes around real estate. You pop those into Canva, and now you have 25 quotes that you can just pop in anywhere you want. Every idea that we've looked here, including the flowers, including the seller contribution, all of those could be any length of posts. So it could really help extend your social media presence, and in a really quick and substantial way. The 6th way that this can really help in your business is if you want to do any kind of workshop or curriculum or have like a home buyer's guide, ask it to write you a 4-week curriculum for that, or a 4-week home guide for that. You can see I asked it to write a 4-week outline for a home buying course, and it is doing such. We might ask it for more detail. We might ask it to clarify, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that, how to get the exact results after this step here. So now there's no reason to not have a home buyer workshop or a home seller workshop, or any kind of home buyer's guide that you're trying to set up. Maybe you're trying to design one, you don't know what information to put in, or you just need a beginning start to what's the foundation you should put in, and you'll fill in the details. Here it is for you. So here's the secret to making this really work for you. There's a couple steps, and you're going to tell GPT how to act so it gives you the best response ever. 1, you're going to tell it, act like a realtor, act like a loan officer. You're going to tell it who it is and who it should be pretending to be. Write in, I want you to act as a realtor. 2, you're going to tell it what you want it to be. Serious, friendly. I want you to be serious. I want this to have a serious tone. I want this to have a friendly tone. I want this to have an educational tone. 3, you're going to tell it the topic and what you want it to do. I want you to create a 4-week program that focuses on seller contribution and how it benefits the buyer specifically. So that number 3 could say, I would like you to produce a script in bullet point format for an Instagram reel on seller contribution. You're telling it specifically who it needs to be, what needs to happen, and how you want the output of it. And the more specific you can be with your questions and what you're asking it to do, the better response and the better information you're going to get. And then the last step of that is if there's anything else that you want it to include, you're going to write that in there. So you've told it who it to be, what you want out, the tone you want it. And then if it's like, make sure that you include X, Y, Z. Make sure you include what are eligible expenses of seller contribution. You're going to want to say that if there's anything specific that you want to be included. Include quotes that I could put into this also. So you're going to be as specific as possible. If you don't like it, you're going to try it again to regenerate it. And if you want something more specific, you're going to take a piece out of that and then ask the question about that specific piece. Like the flowers in Maryland, for example, if we want to talk about the flowers that are colorful, we'll list those. But then if we specifically want to talk about zinnias and how easy that is to plant and when you need to plant them, then we'll go more specific into zinnias. So now do you really want to get your mind blown? Because this is through ChatGPT. One is in Canva. So let me show you in Canva just for a hot second where this is and how to use it. You're going to go to your Canva account and there's this little spot that says Docs, and you can see it over here too. You just click on that. It'll open up a document for you. I'm going to do the magic right. And I'm going to say, what flowers are inexpensive but can add a pop of color to homes for sale in Maryland? Let's just do it a little bit differently. Let's see what it comes up with. And I hit enter, and then it's going to think some great flowers that are inexpensive are, and it shows you. Snapdragons didn't come up before. Let's take that same thing in Canva and say, write a list of 5 flowers that are colorful and inexpensive to plant in Maryland. And I hit return, and you see how it made a list instead of writing in paragraph form. It's just how I, the user, told it to use my content. So now it created that in my fonts. Very similar to what ChatGPT is doing. So if that's too much for you, go to Canva and try the magic right. If you found that helpful, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you want to know more, let me know in comments. I will make additional videos about this as it expands. And if you want help creating many pieces of content out of one, I have a whole video breaking down how you do 37 pieces of content from just one question. And I show you the whole formula for that. Check that one out here.